Okay, so anti-Trump protests well organized. Anti-Trump. Trump is the illegitimate president. Protests across the country last night in 10 or more major cities. MoveOn.org. George Soros says we organize those. And this is just the beginning, right?
Absolutely, but I always knew it would be like that. I think they're organized to disrupt. I think they're organized to disrupt, and I know they're organized to disrupt, and they're going to disrupt. I think we're headed for some chaotic times. I hate to say that. That is so, in my book, I know what they're capable of doing. Look what the press did. Look what the press did. You just went over it. They're so organized. They're so organized to disrupt this country. I don't understand. If you don't love it, get the hell out. I mean it honestly.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But Moon, don't you think it's going to die down in a few weeks, and they'll go back to their lives and their jobs and their unemployment checks?
They don't have jobs. Yeah, exactly.
They'll get their unemployment checks. They'll get their SNAP cards, and they'll move on.
Well, I think they will, but I think every opportunity they can take advantage of to hurt Trump, to hurt what's going to happen in the country, they're going to do it. I just think it's going to be like that. I mean, come on, guys. College kids don't have to go to class because they're so hurt by the election. Come on.
And they pulled in Berkeley, they pulled the kids out of class who were so upset because of the Trump election.
Moon, I had said to Erin in the 6 o'clock hour, I said, Hillary comes out there yesterday and says we need to work together. And the President, Obama, goes out yesterday and says the peaceful transition of power has begun. And both of them knew what was going to happen last night. Don't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. Look, remember, Obama, what he is, he's the original community organizer. Showed up at the White House many, many times. You know, listen, me and Erin talked about this. Robert, we talked about it with you. My insurance premium is $39,000 starting January. $32.54 a month. You do the math. Right at $39,000. I'm not protesting in the streets.
Not $32.
$3,200 a month. Mm-hmm. $39,000 a year.
Well, guess what, Moon? You know who's going to fix that Obamacare for you? Bobby Jindal.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I heard he might be in the DHS, and I fell out laughing when I saw that. If they really know him, they won't put him anywhere by anything.
You think he gets the job?
I don't know. You know, I saw he was on the short list. I hope they call me. I hope they call people that really know. I wouldn't put him in anything. I don't think he's qualified to do anything. I mean, we saw what he did in the state of Louisiana. Look, we're going to have some frustrating times. I think the press has never put the blame where it should be on the leadership of Barack Obama with jobs, the economy, yet. I think we're going to run into some tough financial stuff as well. And they'll blame it on Trump. Fix it. When the press should have been saying, hey, Obama, what about this? What about that? They never did. And I think, Robert, when you started the program with me, going back all what they tried to do, instead of just doing their job, how bad do you think Hillary gets beat if the press didn't cover him, just covered him and Hillary straight up?
In other words, how bad would Hillary have lost if, as I've said 1,000 times, the fix wasn't in?
Well, it was. I got a picture of Hillary. Somebody sent to me. She's crying. She said, "I had a rigged election and I still lost." When people think of rigged, they think about just voter fraud and vote cheating. I think a rig is the press was in, the elite was in. I mean, how would you like to be John Casey? Republican Party had its convention in Ohio. He didn't go. He votes and says he wrote in John McCain, and Trump won. Think about that.
We couldn't write in. Louisiana, we couldn't write in. We had that electronic machine. It's done differently.
I know, but they have write-in. There are more than one state that you can write somebody in.
Well, Moon, let me ask you, what are you watching for with regard to Trump's cabinet? What are some key things we should look for?
Well, his cabinet people we're going to find out if he's really a conservative or he's a moderate or leftist. But, Aaron, I'm not going to even look at that. I mean, he's got to pick his thing. Here's what I look at. Here's the 4 things I think he has to do. Number 1, Supreme Court. Have to be Scalia types. If they do that, he helps the country tremendously. Number 2, Obamacare. Number 3, illegals and the border. Gigantic. He does something about stopping. I'm not talking about legals. I'm talking about illegals. And he does something with the people out of here. I don't know if you send them back. I don't know what the answer is to that. But you're going to have to do something. And number 4 is the economy because in the debt. And it's ridiculous what we've run up in the last 8 years that nobody's talking about. So That's what I'm looking for. As far as who he puts around him, yeah, it's going to be important. I think it's big time important. But I think I'm looking at ultimately the bottom line is what's the results. And I gave you the 4 or 5 things that we're going to have to fix. And I pray to God that we can do it. Because
in January, after the inauguration, when Trump takes office and he starts his agenda, as it were, what kind of blowback, what kind of resistance do you think he's going to meet from traditional Republicans, your Paul Ryan guys?
Well, I'm sure some of that's going to be there, no doubt about it. But you got to remember, if you look across, if you send a map of who voted what, the red and the blue, all these elected officials are looking at that. They know they better get in line and try to fix something in this country. If he does stuff that's right, I think they're going to come with him. Paul Ryan should be wiped out as Speaker of the House. He's kissing up like I've never seen.
Oh, he knows it right now.
Remember that guy? That guy helped Obama, and he's going to turn around. And once he gets that position, that Speaker position, is for 2 years. So I'm not saying they can't get rid of him, but if they vote him in and he starts going against Trump, I mean, what a bunch of fools Republicans are going to look like.
Right now, Paul Ryan knows who's got the juice, and it ain't Paul Ryan.
Well, Paul Ryan needs to go. And I don't think Trump has to say a word publicly. But privately, I can promise you, he's saying, get that man out of here. And I think McConnell in the Senate, they got to go, look, we're trying to do a new direction here. Put some new people in there. Heck, they got other people that can do the job.